This is a new piece, literally finished yesterday at about 4 o'clock. So I need y'all to work with me a little bit. And this is called A Warrior Prays. I stand before you, God, S. With weary bones and a worn soul, I know I've been gone too long, caught up in writing warrior songs as I wage a war for freedom, seeking some version of your kingdom and for the liberation of my people. But somewhere along the line, I lost what's mine and trying to take what's theirs, climbing upstairs to a heaven that led me to nowhere, and I couldn't care, didn't have the energy to. So I've been trying to do this warrior thing without you, and it's finally come to this. Me screaming in the night with balled up fists as I wish I knew where you lived, yes. Somewhere along the path for freedom, I lost what my soul's been needing, and my spirit self is bleeding. Punctured by war wounds and dirty from war tombs, where I've buried my comrades whose only crimes were that they had dreams of a world where justice unfurled into the hands of the meek and the mighty. And I've been angry. Angry with you because where have you been and what did you do to prevent this misery? Look at the history. Beaten and lynched and maimed. And all the while told to pray for the day when you would come save us. I've spent years thinking you betrayed us, and indeed that maybe you hate us, because how could you let them enslave us and do nothing to turn the tide of oppression, but in return ask us for submission? And it's not really that I didn't believe in bended knees, but simply ran out of time trying to race to the finish line of a war that's barely begun and so far from won that I wonder, who has time to pray? But today, in the dark caverns of my inner turmoil, I am searching for fresh soil to plant seeds of redemption and grow spiritual herbs of prevention as I try to make what has become half whole. I'm an actress, but I can't seem to understand this role of warrior and priestess, soldier and healer, provider and stealer, so I'm looking to you to make me a believer again. And show me the way to peace and revolution. It must be you who has the solution, because nobody down here seems to know which way to go, it's right or it's left. We're left with a mess. The lines get blurred in between as brand new leaders come on the scene and old rules blur new meanings of right and wrong, and even the conscious folks can't get along. And I'm thinking it's because something is missing. And maybe that something is you. What to do, what to do, what to do. With a revolutionary who wears bullets in her ears and walks without fear in the face of her oppressors, got handguns in my dresser and an altar by my bed. My head can't seem to align it all, so I'll leave that part to you. I just need you to enter my heart and show me what to do. No, not just what, but how. And not in a little while, but right now, because I've held on for as long as I can, and my hands are starting to callous and bleed as I lose a grip hanging on to this last strip of hope that you are the answer, while simultaneously watching the supremacy thing grow like a cancer on the backs of my people. So forgive me if it's hard for me to run into the steeple as opposed to the battlefield. And yet I'm longing to heal. For a long time, this spirituality thing was last on my mind, and even though I heard God calling my name, I thought I had everything to lose and nothing to gain if I slowed down and listened to you. But lately, I've been feeling a bit empty, and like all the protection I once had has left me, and I just don't have the energy to keep this momentum up. Not that I think of giving up, I just don't know how to go on, and like I said, the fight is not yet won, so where am I going to get that energy from? I need some peace, but I don't quite know how to release the rage that fuels me. I need you to use me to accomplish the mission that I believe is your vision of how things are supposed to be in this place, but there has to be space for revolution and redemption, and so I'm seeking a little bit of an extension as I try to get it right in my mind. I swear I'm seeking, but have yet to find the wholeness of you. I take a deep breath and try to be cool. To close my eyes and let you do what you do, but it doesn't seem like enough. And what do I do with this image of tough, so carefully crafted and perfectly acted? What do I do with the rage that I feel, with the pain that won't heal, and with this soul that feels all too deeply the wounds of the world? When baby girls remain unsafe and young black boys are placed on chopping blocks and in institutions, do I just pray my way through this pollution of our bodies, our minds, our souls, and our earth? How do I then place value or see worth in aggressors and politicians and businessmen? And I'm just not ready to turn my boxing gloves in. But I'm being tugged by something within that says I need to change. and have balance in my life if I'm going to sustain, but what remains is confusion and increasing delusion that peace can find a way, at least not in this day and age, but the imbalance inside is making it rain. And I need something besides wet tears and age-old fears, so I'm seeking your assistance to alleviate my resistance to the peace I know prayer brings as I work on myself to change a few things. I'm seeking out teachers and real-life healers to help me find my way. Learning some new rules and picking up some different tools from brand new schools of thought and action, and it seems as though I'm gaining traction as little by slow I seek the road to being a bit more peaceful, a lot more sane with a tad less pain, and it's no longer in vain when I scream your name asking you to reclaim your rightful place in my living space. Redefining what spirit means to me by reaching back into my history, reclaiming my birthright with late night rituals at midnight. Remembering ancestors before they were stolen with eyes that are a little less swollen, I am making my way back to you. I stand before you, God, S. Now a little more focused and not feeling as soulless or quite so hopeless. Still got stress and still mighty vexed by all the conditions that prevent the fruition of peace. And I haven't ceased my revolution talk, lost the swagger of my warrior walk, but I'm a bit more apt now to chill out now, and it's become much more important for me to figure out how to take some time and talk to you. To close my eyes and let you do what you do. I cannot do this on my own, and your promise to me is that I'm never alone. In the midst of the rain, there is sunshine as I leave the pieces of me before you behind. And now, if you'll excuse me, I must return to the grind for justice. Because prayer alone can't touch this, and I heard faith without works is dead. But before I embark on the road ahead, I need to know that you're with me, so I hit the floor on bended knee and pray to you for clarity and the peace that I need to fight on. In your many holy names, a warrior prays.